Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I bid you welcome to my humble show. We all know the story of Dracula and the character's inspiration, Vlad the Impaler. But did you know that just 26 years ago, an equally gruesome and equally Romanian figure existed? His name was Nicolae Ceausescu, communist president of Romania. And he is our esteemed dictator of the week. As with many dictators, Ceausescu was a fan of overregulation. Typewriters had to be registered with the police. Television was limited to 2 hours a day of pure propaganda, and you could only have a certain amount of light bulbs in your house. Actually, kind of sounds like here. Like all really good dictators, Ceausescu loved erecting huge monuments and buildings in honor of his regime. He decided to level 4 square miles of an entire town and build an enormous 12-story, 3,100-room behemoth called the People's Palace. The palace required the destruction of 19 churches, 6 synagogues, and 30,000 homes. Lauded as the biggest building in the world after the Pentagon, which, I mean, you're spending all that money and you can't even get into first place, the project was ambitiously stupid. It cost Romania $10 billion, consuming 30% of their GDP at a time when the citizens of the country were waiting in bread lines. At only 5'2", maybe Ceausescu was overcompensating for something. And talk about having the government in your uterus. Ceausescu determined how many children a woman should have. The answer, a lot. Okay? He hatched a plan to increase Romania's population from 23 million to 30 million by the year 2000. He began his campaign in 1966 with a decree that virtually made pregnancy a state policy. The fetus is the property of the entire society. Anyone who avoids having children is a deserter who abandons the laws of national continuity. If a woman was unable to conceive, she would be slapped with a celibacy tax, up to 10% of her monthly salary. Romania used to be one of the most pro-choice countries on the earth, but he reversed that, virtually banning all abortions, making him, I think, the world's only pro-life communist dictator. Until, of course, you consider that Ceausescu also had the blood of 60,000 of his own citizens on his hands. He had actual torture rooms where his secret police thugs would kill dissenters. A Romanian news reporter described it saying, "It's terrifying what we see in the torture room. Calcinated bodies, pieces of hairy scalps, blood and tortured bodies lying on the floor." That did not make the Romanian travel guide. Rumors even circulated that Ceausescu, who needed blood transfusions, would take boys from villages, drink their blood, and have them killed. But Ceausescu could also be caring. He was a devoted dad. He gave his son Nicu his own rape room, where he could sexually assault anyone he wanted to whenever he wanted. What a great dad. But the people of Romania did not have the same warm and fuzzy feelings for Ceausescu. In December of 1989, a revolt started with a protest at one of his speeches. Watch.
Considerând aceasta ca o
You don't want the word "someone is shooting" being said while you're making a speech. Interesting side point, though. What was Ceausescu promising to pacify the masses? Watch.
În această dimineață, ca începând de la 1 ianuarie, să majorăm în cursul anului viitor retribuția minimă de la 2000 la 2200 lei.
Yeah, hey, buy off the masses by raising the minimum wage. What a familiar concept. Anyway, the crowds then rushed Ceausescu. They didn't buy the minimum wage thing, and they tried to escape eventually, and he took off via helicopter. The pilot of his turned on him, and then he had basically one guy left other than his wife, one bodyguard who stayed loyal to him. He had to hijack a car just to get the president into hiding. But the people caught up to him. On Christmas Day in 1989, Nicolae Ceausescu and his wife Elena got a very interesting Christmas present. They were kidnapped and forced to stand trial for their heinous acts. Just a disclaimer, if you have children in the room, some of them the pictures you're about to see are not ones you're going to want them to see. Trust me. Not much of a trial, but the people were not particularly happy at that point. Nicolae Ceausescu was dead, and reportedly afterwards it was discovered that the executioners fired 10 bullets into his wife for every bullet they fired at him. She wasn't that popular. That's how much they loved this first family of Romania. So thank you, Nicolae Ceausescu, for being another spectacular communist failure and for being our fabulous dictator of the week. Yeah. Uplifting.